Hi guys, okay, so it's a Monday and I'm feeling very motivated to just come on here and say some honest truths, but also I think I just want to talk through my life plan, because as much as I'm an advocate for remote work and I have obviously been travelling a lot since learning appointment setting 2.5 years ago, I do think there are some downsides that I definitely don't go into enough in my content. And it's not for everyone, and I've definitely been struggling recently with the what next sort of mentality. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm Rach. I trained as an appointment setter 2.5 years ago now, and I've been travelling the world ever since, basing myself mainly in Bali, but I've recently moved home to London. I'm currently in my parents' garden. I think I've actually been inspired to put together this video after catching up with my friends on Friday. Obviously, a lot of questions that I'm getting at the moment is like, what's your plan now? And I have no plan. Like, I know that Bali probably isn't where I want to live forever, and I am going to start using that more as a holiday destination rather than basing myself there and coming back to the UK for breaks. The reason being is I don't know whether anyone has seen the analogy where you've got your roots, your leaves and your branches, or roots, branches and leaves in your life. So your roots are people that are there for you like through any weather, thick and thin, amazing. Your branches also amazing, however if you rely on them too much they could break. And then your leaves, they are just there for the good bits. And I've got roots honestly in Bali and in London, but then when I remember all of my family is based in the UK or France, and then my home friends are even going on to have their own families now, and it's like they're my roots and like I really want to be there for them just as much as they've been there for me. So that factored into my decision to, I guess, spend more time in the UK. Having moved back in with my parents, I think it was that anxiety of like, what's next? And I'm feeling really behind. I'm 27 and I'm at my parents, and then I've just been getting into a bit of a hole of like, where do I want to live? Do I want to live in London? Do I want to live in Manchester? What's next, basically? I honestly have no idea where this video is going to go, because I'm sort of just ad hoc Monday mood, just talking it through. Last Friday I actually got the pleasure of catching up with all of my friends from home who I've been friends with since 2009, the majority, or a couple of them I've actually been best friends with since we were about 5. So I am really lucky to be around them. Half of them honestly are having babies, and obviously I am nowhere near that right now. And the other half are in long-term relationships, so I'm definitely feeling like I'm at a different point in my life. And I think this is why I wanted to just come on here and chat about it, because when you are working remotely, it isn't so much that your priorities change, but naturally I'm not going to be settling down with anyone whilst I was figuring out like where I want to live and enjoying this freedom, because then you do have to depend on someone else. For me, after uni I lived with a boyfriend in Manchester and I loved it, but then during the breakup it was horrible. Like, I had to move out of living with him, and personally I do not want to go for another breakup again, which is kind of crazy to say, but I'm really just telling everyone because I'm manifesting it. And maybe that's why I've been single for like 4 years, but who knows. And I do just think it's been the biggest blessing to me, because I really got to dive headfirst into appointment setting and just taking every opportunity to travel, like visiting friends in Dubai, living in Bali, going for a Euro summer whilst working. But with that, I now am craving more stability, and it's like, well, where next? Because you have this pressure of, okay, the world's your oyster, you can literally live wherever you want. Say I got the opportunity to go to Dubai and like move there with a friend, I could do it, but then at the end of the day I do just want to be based more in the UK and London. That being said, honestly, part of me gets stressed with these conversations. It's so hot, by the way, in London, but part of me gets really stressed with these conversations where it's like, oh my god, we're getting so old, because obviously all of my home friends were the same age, my friends from school. And one friend, so she's literally my best friend, India, she was saying, oh my god guys, I can't believe we're going to be 28 next year for them, this year for me. She was like, we're getting so old. She's got a house, she's got a car, she's got a fiance, she's got a baby, she's got another baby on the way. The only thing she has left to do is become a grandparent. And when she says that stuff like that to me, I literally, she knows it, like I literally just go, shut up, like this is crazy talk, because I still have all of that to do. I'm really excited, like it is gonna happen at some point, here's hoping, But at the same time, like, I think age is just a number. Like, obviously as a female you do have to think about different things, but I wouldn't have changed anything over the last 5 years. However, now I think when working remotely and working for yourself, like I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, is you obviously have to hold yourself very accountable for different things, and one thing is definitely mindset, because I've gone through phases before when we have conversations like that, for example India saying we're getting really old, it panics me. But unless you have the mindset of like, okay, wait, I'm actually really happy with where I am, I'm really happy with where I'm going, my priorities are in order at the moment, then you literally can't survive without having that same structure. That's like the traditional route, because 90% of people are going down that traditional route, and they're the people that you can speak to about getting old and like going through these like phases of life. But when you're being a bit more fluid and free, you are at the end of the day in control of your own destiny, and everyone's journey is different. And I think when working for yourself, you really have to take advantage of that, and if you're not taking advantage of it, you're feeling like you are getting left or you are not doing the right thing. So when you're thinking about like, oh, I'd love to work for myself, I'd love a freedom-based career, it's something to definitely think about. And I'm also not saying that you can't hit those goals when you have got a freedom-based career, but naturally when you're working remotely and you go from a 9 to 5 like me to appointment setting where you can literally work, like do your client work on the back of a Gojek bike in Indonesia, then you are going to take advantage of that. Like, except for, I guess, one thing that I do say when I'm talking to people is I love working with young mums who want to elongate their maternity leave, and I'm like, right, this is the perfect thing for you. So they're still hitting those goals, but they're weaving in flexibility, and you're still not going to reach the same goals in terms of like moving up a corporate structure, but then you just have to be willing to own your journey and not feel the pressure from anyone else. Honestly, looking back to last week, I don't know whether any of you lot would have seen my vlog from France, but I had a day where I was in the house by myself and I was feeling really anxious. I was like, oh, I'm feeling really overwhelmed, like being by myself, because I'm thinking about a lot of things. And I think a lot of that came down to like, okay, I'm going back home, I'm gonna be in Bromley with my parents, even though I've got a few like trips lined up, like I'm going to Lisbon for my friend's 30th, I'm going to Ibiza tomorrow. I had that mindset shift where it was like, well, this is the most logical thing for me to do. Also, when I was in France, I realised that I literally hate just being left in my own company. It was driving me insane. I'm so fortunate where I get along with my parents so well. Like, my older sister's moved out, my younger sister, she's performing at Edinburgh Fringe, so it's just the 3 of us here this month, and I love it. And then they're planning on putting the house on the market, so there's a lot of stuff that we need to sort out in the house. I actually tidied my whole room yesterday, which I'm really proud of. I woke up this morning, I don't know whether anyone's ever done it, you know, well, people must have done it, but the same feeling, you know, when you just wake up and you look around, there's no clutter everywhere. And I was like, why didn't I do this a couple of months ago when I was back from Bali? But slept like an absolute baby. I loved it. And I think when you get older, like an 18-year-old's probably looking at this like, oh my god, that's my worst nightmare, to be living with my parents when I'm 27. When you get older, your relationship with your parents changes. It's delightful. I'm so lucky that they'd have me here, to be honest, but realistically, when they move, my room or where I stay will be more of a spare room, and I don't want to leave them with lots of clutter again, especially when they're moving into a new space. So over the past week, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, my mindset shift is working towards moving into my own place Christmas time, January time. But until then, just really making the most of being here, spending time with my mum and dad and my younger sister when she's back as well, just helping out with their move, because it's a lot to move house. Like, when I was doing my room yesterday, I was thinking, oh my god, like I am not going to be able to help so much with the rest of the house. It's going to take me about a month to actually finish off this room, minus the clutter now that I've got rid of. I'm actually really looking forward to just being here, being present, being a massive help, like even with walking the dogs and everything, because I'm never going to get this time back with my mum and dad. And when I was looking around on Friday, everyone is just so grown up and time's gone so fast. I do not disagree with that. Like, time is flying. We are definitely getting older, but I think unless you have the mindset of I'm on my own journey and I'm not going to feel the pressure from outer elements, you probably will hate remote work. Like, as much as I'm an advocate and I love to get people involved in this industry, and like especially with appointment setting being so flexible, it is just something to really take note of. Like, it genuinely isn't for everyone, and unless you have that mindset, it can be more overwhelming, I'd say, than feeling burnt out at an office job. Because one thing that I've been struggling as well with recently is burnout from obviously saying yes to a ton of different plans, because I have the pressure of like, oh well, what else are you doing? Because I'll just be working remotely from home, so realistically I can get on the train to Manchester on a 3-hour commute and do all of my work and then enjoy time up there. But when you're ping-ponging between all these places, it's a different kind of burnout. And I think it's only really this year, I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older, but it's only really this year that I have come to terms with the fact that I can't do everything. It's definitely something that I'm going to be more cautious of, and I'm having really honest conversations with the girls in my community, because I do not want them to ever feel like how I felt sometimes in the last 2 years. I just want everyone to feel really confident with what they're doing and actually be really intentional with how they're spending their time. Like, for instance, for me, I'm stopping now from, other than the trips that I've committed to, I've gone back on a couple and been like, actually I can't do this, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and like juggling too much. But other than those, I'm not gonna lock in for anything else. I'm just gonna really spend the time making the most of being at home, setting up a bit of a plan for when I'm moving out, because it's one of those things where when I move out, I want it to be somewhere where I'm feeling just at home as I am here. Like, I'm so fortunate to be able to say that and to have that as a goal. But I think I am really enjoying my time here, and it wouldn't be worth me moving to somewhere where I didn't feel that same positive energy. I'm trying to be more intentional with where I spend my time, because I do think that it hasn't helped my mental health as of recent years, where I have been just spreading myself too thin and just not actually standing my ground when I am feeling that different type of burnout. Because it sounds ridiculous to say, oh, I don't want to come to Amsterdam because it's just going to be too much like back and forth and there's going to be too much going on, when in reality you do need to keep yourself grounded. You do need to lock in for those different work weeks. And yeah, we'll see how the next few weeks go. Hopefully I don't overcommit. Obviously I've got Ibiza tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to that, but it's still going to try and get some work done, just have like really chill days, going out in the evenings. I've not done Ibiza for the last 3 years, so I'm really very much looking forward to going back. Having said that, like I say, the weather in London is gorgeous. I think I'm going to put on a bikini in a second when I work, because this like sports set, I can just envision me giving me the worst tan lines ever. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little candid moment, and I'll definitely do more of these as and when they come, because I think honestly it's been 15 minutes I've been recording that, and I'm feeling very much resolute. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Like, just every problem resolved for the time being. Special shout out to my sister at Edinburgh Fringe, because my mum and dad are going to see her perform today, and I'm really excited to see and hear about how it goes. Just anyone that is thinking about their future path, just be really intentional. So obviously been Lionsgate Portal a couple of days ago. Tap into that. Where do you want to be next year and how are you going to get there? My tip of the day is, it's not going to be by over committing and making too many plans. Just do what makes you happy and you'll get there. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Definitely tap a like and subscribe if you're looking for more remote work content, travel content, but also just seeing me figure life out now that I'm back in London.